Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison with Baby Stepping to Freedom, and today we are going to talk about the budget. Once again, I'm going to show you our budget spreadsheet that's on Google Drive, and I will take you through what the first half of September is going to look like for us. We just finalized our budget, and it's a little bit tighter this month than we're used to. So let's take a look at that and then we will do some cash. Welcome to the first half of our September budget. I thought this would be a perfect time to show everyone what our first half of the month budgeting looks like. I've talked about this before, but we do two different budgets throughout the month. Aaron and I both get paid at the beginning of the month, and then on the 15th or so, Aaron gets paid again. So we sit down and do two different budgets each time we get paid. This, what you see, is our budget spreadsheet. I've done a whole video on a budget tour before, so you can find that link below. I'm not going to go through what all the spreadsheets really are and how they work, because that's all in my other video. If you're curious about that, you can find that below. What I'm going to do is show you how we budgeted for September, what the month is looking like for us, and maybe what it's going to look like the rest of the month. So we'll get started. Up at the top of this bottom spreadsheet, this is really the bulk of our budgeting. You can see our two paychecks at the top. So I get paid once, Aaron gets paid twice a month. The beginning of the month is really the bulk of our income, and so we pay almost all of our bills and do our cash envelopes at the beginning of the month. That's just because that's when we have the most money and we can do the most. So that's why this side is much longer than this side. We have our two paychecks, and then mortgage, electricity, and gas, and garbage are all through bill pay. So I do have them color coded, but it's kind of a hot mess. I don't really know what most of the colors mean, but these are through bill pay. I do know that. So when we sit down to do our budget, I just automatically put these in bill pay and they're done and paid. Our phone bill is with my mom, so we manually send that to her through our bank's, it's called Pop Money. It's just sharing between different banks. So we send that to her. That's why that's blue. So we remember to do that. Our phone bill is also that's not our phone, that's our internet. Sorry. Our internet is also through bill pay. Then all of these red boxes are things that we have to transfer. They're red because I often forget to transfer them. I put them in the spreadsheet and then I forget to transfer them. So I made them red, hoping that I would remember. So we have the gym. This just went up this month because I officially joined the gym. If you have followed my Instagram stories, you've seen my adventures at the gym. So now we have $35 that goes to the gym. We transfer that to a different account just because it takes a while for them to take that out, and we like to set that money in a different account and not have to remember that it's there. Then we have our insurance, which is also auto, and our student loans. How could I forget what that was? Which is another auto payment. So if they're white, that basically means I don't really have to do anything for the most part. Like I said, colors, hot mess. They don't really mean much, but it looks pretty, kind of. The BDA line is Aaron's business expenses. So that varies each month. He had a few business expenses that were coming up this month, and since he got a little bit of commission on this paycheck, that's usually when we put some money away for his business expenses. So that was $110. Gas is $200. We kind of over budgeted last month for gas, and so we had a little bit extra in our gas checking account. I've talked about this before, but we have multiple different checking and savings accounts that we use in addition to cash envelopes. So we pay for gas out of our gas checking account. We transfer money in there, and we only use that debit card for gas. That's so we don't have to worry about paying cash at the pump. Aaron also has a checking account for his business expenses too. It makes it a lot easier for us to have multiple checking accounts where we can put money aside and not have to remember what money is for what. Then we have our cash envelopes. This number, as you can see, pulls from this spreadsheet up above. I will go through that in a second. So it just pulls the total down over here and puts it in here. Random transfer is anything that we transfer for other things that maybe isn't already listed here. So we also have a car maintenance savings account, and that is so we can have some money, some electronic money in our checking account for when Aaron needs to buy things like oil filters or lights or anything that might be a purchase online. So he doesn't have to go to the bank and deposit cash every time he needs to buy something online. So that's what the car maintenance savings account is. So we do have a cash category and also a savings account for car expenses. Random spent is anything that we spend money on before we finalize this budget. We had already planned on buying a couple things on Amazon. Aaron needed a new watch band, and now that we're both going to the gym, we needed another set of headphones. So that's pretty much what that was. Miscellaneous is another checking account. Oh, this should say transfer right here because that's why it's red. Oop. So we have a checking account that we call miscellaneous, and that's what we use for random expenses throughout the month. We probably could have put this $30 into miscellaneous, but we did $30 in addition to our $100 miscellaneous. Finally, we had to get tags for our car. It's so expensive, but that was $90 and came out of it as well. So all of that, all of the expenses here, subtract from our income and give us this remaining amount, and that is what we put to debt, or at least a portion of it we put to debt. We actually made a payment of $1,690, so it's $20-$30 short of what we have left, and that $20-$30 is about is what we keep as a buffer in our account. I'll quickly go up here and talk about our cash envelopes. So we have, not August, September. It's finally September. So we have the 1st and the 15th for cash envelopes. Even though our gas isn't a cash envelope, I like to track this here so we can see how much we budget throughout the year for gas. And then everything from here over totals into this box where it pulls down into our budget below. So I also talked about our grocery budget going up this month on my Instagram stories and my Instagram feed, how we're now eating keto and that's a little bit more expensive, and we are buying more slightly expensive food that is a little bit more convenient for us to help keep us on track and stay in budget. So we actually budgeted $400 for groceries for the first 2 weeks of the month. I'm going to guess that on the 15th we probably won't budget very much because we got so much food. So it might end up actually being pretty similar to what we've done before. We'll see. Non-edible grocery is our category where we get, you guessed it, non-edible grocery items like paper towels and Ziploc bags and what else did we have to get? Laundry soap, all that stuff. Pet care is basically litter, and we usually buy cat food out of a random spent category. Restaurant, as you can see, that usually comes from our miscellaneous money. We don't put much there. This is our car maintenance cash envelope, so we put $20 in that. Home maintenance, things like air filters, and Aaron needed a can of paint to repaint some trim. That's what that is. Gifts, we have lots of kid birthdays coming up, so we budgeted for gifts. Aaron's going to need some new work shoes soon, so we budgeted $100 for clothing. Upcoming expenses is anything random that doesn't fit into one of these other categories that we need cash for. For the first time in a while, we haven't needed anything there, so that was good because our other cash envelope categories were getting pretty high. Then we have Christmas, which as you can see, we just started budgeting for, so wish us luck there. And then finally, work expenses. That's because I'm going to need to buy some things for work this year. That's $60 so far. Might have to do more later in the month. So here we are, $960. As you see above, it's the most that we've spent in our cash envelope categories all year. That was a little hard for us because that number makes this number down here less, and it's a little painful for us, but there we have it. We paid all the way up at the top here $16.90 to debt so far. This month will probably not be quite as good as the last 2 months, but that's okay. That's why we hustled so hard over the summer, was because we knew that this month would probably not be quite as great. So there we have it. That is what September is looking like. We'll do it again on the 15th. As you can see, we typically don't have as many expenses on the 15th, so hopefully we'll be able to put maybe another $700 to debt, in addition to whatever else we get from side hustles and selling things. So there you have it. That is our September budget. We were able to put $1,690 to debt so far this month. Hopefully we will be able to do at least another $700, but we should be able to do close to another $1,000 is the hope. So now that you have seen the budget and the cash envelopes, I am going to quickly stuff our cash envelopes with our cash. I've been waiting to put this in. One thing that I didn't talk about in the budget overview is the fact that we spent some of our cash on the debit card. So before we went and got cash this month, we actually went grocery shopping. We do Walmart pickup, which if you haven't done Walmart pickup before, it's rad. There's a link below that you can get $10 off your first order, and I get $10 too, so win-win. Anyways, I did that and went to Costco before getting the cash, so it actually, the cash that I'm stuffing is going to be less than what was on that spreadsheet. We did the math and figured out how much cash we needed, so I'm looking at this little spreadsheet that Aaron made to figure out how much to put in each category. So we have $25 left in our grocery budget. So 25 is going to go in, here's our budget categories. Ooh, got a receipt in there. We usually clean out this before we stuff it. So grocery, $25. Then we have $40 for pet expenses, $40 for pets. Then we have $20 for car maintenance. This is what we haven't spent. So we spent all of our non-edible grocery, which I talked about. $60 for home maintenance. No. $60, yeah, for home maintenance. Couldn't see for a second there. Home maintenance, $60. Then we have, oh, we spent some gift money, so we have $98 left. That's for my nieces and nephews. 3 of them have birthdays this month, so I have $98 for 3 kids. So 70, 80, let's see, 90, 1, 2, 3. See, this is the problem with spending cash. There we go, 98. Going into gifts, then we have $100 for clothing, $100. Aaron needs some shoes. Christmas, it's the first month for Christmas. $100 into Christmas. And last but not least, work expenses, $60. That's it. It is fast and easy. Cash envelopes are filled, budget is done, debt is paid, boom. So that is the process. Maybe someday I'll record the process of Aaron and I setting the whole budget, which is pretty fun as well. We do it together, we talk back and forth, and we really work as a team to get that budget made. But for now, that's our September. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you spending the time to watch me, you know, just kind of chat on here. If you like watching my videos, make sure to subscribe below. Follow me on Instagram, where I talk way too much on my story and post more in my feed. I also have a Facebook page where you can see some of my posts as well. And then there's a few links below that I have mentioned throughout this video. I'll see you guys next time.